Democrats on the generic ballot by 8 points. That is enough to offset the GOP's edge from favorably drawn districts and endanger their 23-seat majority, which is looking increasingly fragile. So what would a Trump presidency look like with a Democratic House? And the White House and the GOP seem to be rattled or unnerved by this prospect. Here now, former Oklahoma Senator Tom Coburn, watchdog for the U.S. taxpayer and former author of the Congressional Waste Book, which a lot of folks miss. Senator Coburn, good to see you again. Thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Glad to do it.
So what is your take? Because, you know, from a distance, you look at what's going on, and we all remember the surprising, really, wave election of 2016 and Republicans crowing about how the control that they had over the House and the Senate and the White House was what they had wanted for years and years. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity. And now they seem to be saying, well, we're pretty satisfied with what we got.
Well, I think in my adult life, Martha, I've seen this play out a lot, is you get in power, you want to stay in power, so you become risk averse rather than doing what you told the people you would do. I mean, just think about it. We just saw a budget bill passed for $1.3 trillion, $300 billion more than what we spent last year in the same period, with no oversight. Nobody knew what was in it except the moneyed interest that had something in it. I don't think that's what they want to be known for, but that's what they're going to be known for, rather than actually cleaning up some of the mess and the waste and the fraud and abuse in Washington. Yeah, and so what they're doing is they play the game shorthanded and say, well, maybe we'll make it. And what happens is people lose trust in them.
You know, when you look at the races that have happened so far, you know, I think of Pennsylvania, the Connor Lamb election, it didn't look like there was a tremendous rally around Rick Saccone. And, you know, you can talk about whether or not you think he was a great candidate. But the effort to hang on to these Republican seats, what you hear more and more from Republicans on the Hill is, well, you know, it's not unusual when you have the presidency, when you have, you know, your party's president in the White House, that when you come around to the first round of midterms, you lose the House. But, you know, you look at what's been accomplished so far, and tax reform is clearly a big accomplishment for Republicans. It's definitely something that was on their checklist. But do you feel like they should be satisfied with the progress that they've made so far with this golden opportunity?
No, I'm not. As a U.S. citizen that pays a lot of taxes every year, I'm not satisfied at all. Why haven't they created transparency on pricing in health care? $1 in every $3 in health care is wasted. The average deductible now is $7,900 per family. Yeah. They'd like to see a cheaper deal, a better deal. So mandate that prices are transparent. They could do that. They could pass that bill. Who can be against being knowing what your price is before you pay for it? Of course, emergencies are different. You know, how about oversighting? How about building a team to oversight the waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government and getting rid of it? They didn't have to borrow another $1.3 trillion. I mean, that's what our deficit's going to be this year. They didn't have to do that. They could have done it another way. What I would tell you is I bet you the American people as a whole would much rather have seen a government shutdown than a bill passed in the dark of the night that nobody's read that adds a $1.3 trillion to our spending.
Yeah, but there's a divide.
And do the hard work.
You know, when you look at those two, but all you heard from Republicans, you know, we don't want to shut down. We were there last time with Ted Cruz. And the president, at several points along the way, said, you know what, shut it down. Let's push the envelope and see what happens.
He should have vetoed the bill.
He should have vetoed the bill.
Yeah, he should have vetoed that bill. You can't sign that bill and then say, next time I won't sign it. You've lost all leverage because the momentum of the legislative body is do what's easy. And what easy is to spend American taxpayers' money and grow the government. What is hard is to be frugal with American taxpayers' money and oversight the government and hold it accountable. And so, you know, he's lost his leverage on them, and they'll do this to him again. September 30th, I guarantee you'll see another continuing resolution bill. You won't see all the appropriation bills. It hadn't happened since, what, 2003?
Extraordinary. And you're right. You're going to see a CR and then probably another omnibus bill in December. Senator Coburn, thank you.
That's right.
It's good to hear your voice on this and good to see you again. Thank you so much.